So AMD just released new CPUs, and the good thing about this release is that you can use these CPUs on current AM5 motherboards if you want. In terms of specifications and whatnot, I have a slide here so you can see for yourself. The flagship one is the Ryzen 9 9950X. It has 16 cores, 32 threads, and a max boost of 5.7 GHz. It uses 170 watts TDP and has 80 megabytes of cache. And if you compare it to the 7950X, so the previous version, I guess, the one I have actually in my own PC and been testing / using in many music production videos, test videos, all of that good stuff, the 9950X might look like a rebrand, like the specifications looks the same. It has the same amount of cores, the same max boost, same TDP as the 7950X, but there are some changes under the hood. The production process of the CPU is slightly better. It's kind of a improved 4 nanometer process, and I think the 7950X used a 5 nanometer process, so it means it will be a little more efficient. So AMD actually claims you get an average of 16% IPC increase with the new model. So if you don't know what IPC is, it means instructions per clock. So it means that the CPU can do more calculations per gigahertz if you compare it to the previous one. I don't know if that's the easiest way to explain it, but it can do more per speed it has. So more marketing from AMD claims also up to 56% in Blender compared to the Intel's 14900K, and 21% in Cinebench 2024. And on gaming it shows 4% frame rate over the 14900K in games like Borderlands 3, and you also get 23% better performance in Horizon Zero Dawn actually. But these are AMD's own numbers, so it should be taken with a grain of salt until we see real-world tests, of course. But and it will vary depending on what type of workload you put on the CPU. So you have to just test it and see for yourself. So as you can see, I have tested this CPU on this channel, and I have tested the previous model as well on this channel in different things, comparing it to the M1 Mac in Ableton Live and different things. And in terms of music production and content creation, I think we have some great options here for people that wanted to go the PC route and not the Mac route. And the 9600X and the 9700X would also be good choices for a small form factor build due to its lower TDP of 65 watts. So meaning you don't want this large box on your table, you just want a small kind of compact SFF PC. You can use one of these lower end CPUs while they are still having, on paper at least, excellent performance per watt. The 9950X is obviously the flagship here. And if it does 16% better in music production, well, it's not easy to say that right now. So since there are so many variables and different types of software, this really have to be tested. And I think my tests on this channel geared to music production have shown that you don't necessarily need to buy the greatest and best CPU just to be able to create some music. In many cases you can get away with a cheaper CPU, especially if your projects are less complicated, or if you just produce in the box and you use maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 tracks, or maybe even more, depending on what type of plugin you use and all of that. You know, it's difficult to just give a blanket statement here on the channel and say that, yep, this CPU works. You can't say that because no one knows how you're working. Can you make a music production PC with a Ryzen 9, one of the Ryzen 9 CPUs? Yes, of course you can. It just gives you the power you can get from it. So we will have to see. So what I think is good about this is the fact that AMD is still showing some commitment to an older socket, AM5. Originally AMD said that it would support this socket until at least 2025, and now they have said it will be extended through 2027 actually. So this means You probably just need a BIOS update on your motherboard you have today, and you can just buy one of these CPUs, plop them in, and you're good to go. With that said, AMD is actually also launching updated, refreshed CPUs for the AM4 socket. So it's the 5900XT and the 5800XT. So the original 5900X was a 12-core CPU, but the new XT now is a 16-core CPU, 32-thread CPU, and the 5800 XT has 8 cores, 16 threads, and a boost clock up to 4.8 gigahertz. So yeah, this shows commitment to the AM4 and AM5 socket, and obviously AMD is scoring some points with consumers there, I guess. The CPUs will be available in July this year, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. We'll see how much money I have left over from my vacation, but if that was the case, please let me know in the comments what you want to be tested, but I guess I know what you want to see anyways. Yeah, in terms of music production beast, it will probably be a really good music production CPU, the 9950X, or any other type of content creation, in my opinion. I based this on the 7950X, which I have used for, I don't know how much long time it is, like two years maybe. Just sitting here in the background now, I'm just using it mostly for a gaming PC, because I use mostly my Mac for most of the things. But yeah, it might be a contender for a new PC build. So I have used both Mac and PC for music production and content creation on this channel, and for the use, I have not had any huge issues using AMD hardware for music production with Ableton Live and plugins, for example. I used the original AMD 3900X, and I also using the 7950X now, and it's been working just fine. The only thing I kind of regret is that I'm using air cooling on the CPU. I think I should go over to using water-cooled system. That's I think another discussion. They get quite hot, but that's what it is. But remember, my experience is based off producing in the box. I don't do tours, I don't record much live, so I can't say how that works on AMD and PC hardware. And in many cases, that has been proven to be, I don't know, better on Macs, but it has proven to be stable. So I can't talk much about that, at least. But yeah, that's at least my experience. But my point is that music production will obviously work on both systems. And I mean, if you like to do some gaming as well, heavy gaming with demanding games, it would also make sense to use perhaps a PC for music production. And if you're on a budget, you know, if you want to save some money, because the times we're living in now are, yeah, they are hard. We have inflation, costs are rising. It's, even if Norway is kind of a high paid country, it's rising here as well. So if you buy Apple gear, I mean, the laptop I have costs like $5,000. It's insane. And I mean, you can, obviously I know that you can get a good PC with probably a 4090 GPU and a lot of fun stuff for that type of money. So yeah, you have to decide for yourself. At least interesting to see this from AMD, and I will try to be on top of this and see what's happening. Exciting times. Apple is also going to talk about stuff in a week or so, I think, so stick around, press like and subscribe and all of that, and yes, thank you, goodbye.